Okay, we got a banger. The end of Titanfall from the Act Man. Oh, Jesus. What's happening to my baby?
What's up, everybody? This is the Pilot Man here, and you know what I really despise? Which game really doesn't deserve to make a comeback? Titanfall.
It stinks. It stinks.
Boy, what an overhyped piece of junk Titanfall 2 was. What type of degenerate would play a game where you can suit up in some giant mech robot and get flung across space and time and jump on top of the robot and pull out batteries and fuck it over that way and punch other giant robots in the face with these big metal gauntlets? Who gets enjoyment from stuff like that? Couldn't be me.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
people even like robots anymore?
Bro, if you could believe it, one critique of Titanfall was that the pilot gameplay was so good, it literally dwarfed the Titan, the big robot gameplay, because, you know, whenever you're in like a big robot, yeah, you get like a little bit of mobility, but not like that of the pilots with like wall running and shit like that, and air strafing and double jumping and resetting your jumps and whatnot. If you can believe it, that was a critique that brought the game down for some people. The robot gameplay isn't as good as the pilot gameplay.
Titanfall 2 was one of the biggest disgraces in gaming. This joke is getting old, isn't it?
Yeah.
There wasn't even a cult following behind it, and truth be told, I'm as happy as a clam that the franchise has finally died. Is what I would say if I went to college and got my major in blasphemy.
Look, I'd had a lovely supper, and all I said to my wife was,
Titanfall 2 was one of the biggest disgraces in gaming.
"Blasphemy!"
I may have said
I mean, obviously he's like joking around. Like Titanfall 2 was or Titanfall in general is just amazing.
this in a previous video before, but it's a take, I think, out of all the takes I've had, this one might be one of the best. There are no bad mech games. If there are,
Me personally, I like my buddy tried to get me into Mech Warrior. I just couldn't get into it, dude. It's like so slow with the tank movement. Ugh. He's like, like you can't really strafe. I was like, this game's not for me. But like, Armored Core 6, we want to talk about a mech game. Oh my god, I haven't played a mech game in forever. Up until Armored Core 6, the last mech game I think I've played was probably something like Zone of the Enders, if you can remember that far back. Or some sort of like Gundam game, like way back in the day, like the 2D fighter Gundam games, if you consider that a mech game. Probably not, because it was just like a fighting game, more or less. I'm trying to think of what other mech games I've played between Zone of the Enders and Armored Core 6. I probably played like random, scantly a couple, but like, dang, dude. Like, it's hard for me to like, Armored Core 6 is probably like the gold standard for me for like mech games. Oh, it's just too good.
I have yet to see one. Armored Core, absolute banger. I only
Oh.
played that series for the first time like
Oh.
a couple years ago with Armored Core 6. Jesus, those boss fights were relentless and gorgeous and beautiful. A custom robo on a GameCube. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh, but the battle takes place with
Oh.
these little robots.
Oh my god, I remember this game, but I never played it. I don't know why. I think when I was a little kid, I was like intimidated by it. For some, if that sounds stupid, but
In this arena, and that's how people in the world of custom robo settle their differences. That game had an amazing story and was a lot of fun. Mech Assault, who could forget Mech Assault?
oh my god, I played Mech Assault. I remember this.
On a classic OG Xbox. It's just the green and the robots, and visually that was just like a staple of the Xbox brand in my eyes. Then there's that Mecha Break game.
Oh yeah, I never played Mecha Break. It does look good. Very similar like gameplay to what do you call it? Fires of Rubicon. But I just like never got around to playing it because I'm like, well, if I'm gonna play a mech game, I just go play Fires of Rubicon again.
Coming out, and that looks phenomenal as well.
Yeah.
And you can add Titanfall 1 and 2 to that list.
Yeah.
Proof that mech games are something people enjoy. It's a genre that, as far as I've seen, just somehow always works. Transformers proved that you don't need good writing, storytelling, or even character performances to...
No, people, when you involve mechs, like big robots in your story, people just want to see the big robots fight, okay? Same thing with Godzilla movies. The story is a side piece to the main entree that is the big monsters fighting. Okay? That's it. Period. End of story.
Make a lot of money. Just have robots fighting. It's the same thing with monster movies. Just have the monsters fight.
There you
make
go.
It look cool, and I'll give you money. You would think it would be as simple as that, but ladies and gentlemen, Titanfall 3 has been canceled. That's right, folks. We are no longer...
Yeah, weren't they talking about this like years ago as well? Like, oh, since Apex came out, we're gonna stop production on Titanfall 3 because arena shooters are just like, no one wants to play them anymore, because whenever you start talking about arena shooters, you may as well just talk about Call of Duty. And like, nobody's even talking about arena shooters anymore. The moment you talk about shooters, what does everybody clamber towards? They talk about CS, they talk about Valorant, and then whatever the current, like maybe Fortnite, whatever the current popular battle royale is. I think PUBG is still like popular, Fortnite's still popular. Other than that, Apex is like, it's alive and kicking. Well, it's not really kicking, it's more like alive and like magic harping, more or less. I mean, just the concept of shooting games, like, it's hard to say shooting game without also bringing in the words like high skill in there. Depending on who your audience is, you know, you want to talk about shooting games on M&K versus shooting games on the controller. You know, then you start talking about aim assist versus the M&K and that whole whirlpool of bullshit. But then you have something to contrast that. Something is popular, something that's coming out very soon, or maybe it already came out by the time this video comes out. Doom, a single player arena shooter, great combat, great vibes. What's not to like? So, like, talking about shooting games, and not just like big mech game, it's very nuanced.
Standing by for a Titanfall game. So recently, the developers of Titanfall and the Star Wars Jedi series Apex Legends, Respawn Entertainment, have come out and confirmed that Titanfall 3 ? Was just canceled.
What? How can you do this?
I think that's what they said. If we look at this tweet here,
Let me see. At Respawn, bold ideas, creative risk, and passionate storytelling has always been defined who we are. That spirit has carried us through incredible highs and sometimes through difficult changes too. Wow, what soft bullshit language. Highs and lows, okay? Through difficult changes. Oh gosh, don't put the word lows in there. Incredible highs and down bad lows. We can't say low. It's telling right there what kind of company this is. As we sharpen our focus for the future, we've made the decision to step away from 2 early stage incubation projects that made some targeted team adjustments across Apex Legends and Star Wars Jedi. These decisions aren't easy, and we are deeply grateful to every teammate affected. Their creativity and contributions have helped build Respawn into what it is today. We've offered meaningful support to those impacted, including exploring new opportunities within EA. So what are you guys talking about? You talk about like firing people? Like you fired some devs? Wasn't it like I heard somebody that made like one of the new characters for Apex? They made the new character and then they immediately got fired or something like that. What a great company. Looking ahead, our commitment to player first experience. No, your commitment is to money first experience. Don't get it twisted. Remains unchanged. True. Innovation has always been at the core of Respawn's identity. No, the innovation has remained and shall always remain with the the core founders that made Respawn, and those original founders have left. Or what we have now is a husk of its former self. That's what we have. Innovation has always been at the blah, 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 and it continues to drive how we build the future, from evolving live experiences to crafting new worlds and stories. Crafting new ways to extract money from your pocket. Whoa. For Apex Legends, that means not just delivering competitive, innovative seasons. Apex is not competitive. It's not. You have aim assist versus M&K. It's not competitive. But expanding what Apex can be, while the team will continue to refine gameplay and bring new ideas to upcoming seasons. We're also investing in what's next for the franchise, exploring bold new experiences that push the boundaries of competitive play while staying true to the spirit of competition. No, you're not. The spirit of competition is not with Apex. It's not. Despite what you think, it's not. Creativity and integrity that our community expects. Within Star Wars universe, we're excited to keep building new stories, with the next chapter of Star Wars Jedi series aiming to raise the bar again for storytelling and gameplay. To everyone who has been part of our journey, past, present, and future, thank you for making Respawn what it is. We carry your legacy with us into everything we create next. Well, as a quick little side note, I think I played Apex for like 2 or 3 years. And while I was playing, I think that was the first game I actually dumped like thousands of dollars, embarrassingly and regretfully. Very much a lot of buyer's remorse. I dumped thousands of dollars into the microtransactions, much to my own stupidity. I regret every dollar of it. I wish I could take it back, but I can't. That is what will remain and carry the legacy forward. Your money, not the time you spent.
Well, first off, add this to the compilation of like video game development.
Oh, and Hackman is doing one more better. This is a ham-fisted apology, is what it seems. All right? Do not let these people gaslight you. All right? This is an apology note. This is an apology note. This is an apology note. Respawn, what they did is an apology note. That's what it is. And it goes on the gigantic collage of apology letters of gaming devs to the community. You're just another statistic, Respawn. Throw it on the pile.
Or apology tweets or like delay announcements, they all have the same format. I don't know. Let's read this because canceling a new Titanfall game is pretty fucking important.
Well, okay, I already read it, but I'll still listen. Let me see what he thinks.
I loved the second game and felt like it didn't get as many players as it really deserved. And this is a series that I've honestly just been waiting for them to come out with a new title. So here's what they say. At Respawn, bold ideas, creative risks, and passionate storytelling have always defined who we are. That spirit has carried us through incredible highs and sometimes through difficult changes too. As we sharpen our focus for the future, we've made the decision to step away from 2 early-stage incubation projects. First off, you can tell the terminology immediately turns robotic, right? These aren't video games. These are early-stage incubation projects.
Yeah, this was like the most weirdest wording I've ever seen. Incubation? What, you think you're a fucking scientist from like Jurassic Park or something? Ooh, look at the eggs, the dinosaur eggs incubating in the little egg warmer. It's about ready to hatch. Watch, guys. Ugh.
He's not shell-shocked. He has
post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah.
I get what they're trying to say, like it's an incubation project. But I think an incubation project is just like...
It's like the game before the alpha state. It's still being built. Pre-alpha, whatever you want to call it. It's like one of the builds that they're like, it's a work in progress type of build version of the game.
Something that they're testing and working on and not like 100% certain on. We've made the decision to step away from 2 early stage incubation projects and make some targeted team adjustments across Apex.
Targeted team adjustments. This phrase right there, dude. We had to fire some people, guys. It is what it is. That guy, that person that made that new character, yeah, like we used them, we took all their stuff, and then we used it, but according to our policy, according to our department, our company policy, when you make something that's when we put it in the game, we gotta fire you like immediately. Okay, it's just don't blame us. It's just company policy, guys.
Legends and Star Wars Jedi. Okay, now that's just hilarious to me. We're not laying people off. We're making targeted team adjustments.
That's just so funny, dude.
Married, you'd be butt buddies.
Instead of being man and wife, you'll be butt buddies. Get it?
You know they're making layoffs because right after they say targeted team adjustments, they say these decisions aren't easy. We are deeply grateful to every teammate affected.
Yeah.
My ass!
What? It sounds like these targeted team adjustments are... Wait, they're not a good thing?
I was lied to. And so are you.
This is such a bizarre way. Like, just say you're laying people off. Focus.
No, the reason they can't say it is because that makes the company look bad. And they can't afford to make the company look bad. This is a company that doesn't... This is the same mindset of the people that think Kim Jong-un doesn't have a butthole and poops. We can't let our consumers know we do bad things. We have to look like angels in the sight or in the presence of our consumers. We can do no wrong. All right. And it took me a while to like realize this and to pick up on this, that like most companies do this type of thing, depending on how skillful their PR team is. But whenever I sense something like this, it comes off as disingenuous and manipulative. It doesn't come off as soft. It comes off as manipulative because you're also implying that your consumers are, for the most part, stupid. That's what you're doing.
Losing their jobs and some projects are getting shelved or canceled. Like, I can't speak for what the work culture at Respawn is like. I haven't really been made aware of any major internal controversies there. So, like, I don't think they're doing this for nefarious or malicious intent, but I feel like it's using this type of soft language. It does a disservice to what it is you're doing and the people.
I didn't even pre-watch this. He's saying the same thing I just said. Soft ass language. Didn't even pre-watch it.
People affected by it. Treat it with the respect, the dignity, and honesty that it deserves, right? This is kind of what I hate about major corporations. Or like, you ever been fired before? It's like an Office Space, man. That idea that they can't just look at you, stare you down, and tell you you don't have a job anymore. They have to obfuscate, and like just try to, they have to get as far away as possible.
Yeah.
We're getting rid of you. You don't work here anymore. Or maybe, I don't know. Look at him, Respawn. You've made Johnny Titanfall sad. How could you? Reading this, it feels like the PR department rewrote it like 40 times.
Yeah.
And I get it. Layoffs suck. There's a lot of them that have been happening in the video game and tech industry. And it's important.
Layoffs are at an all-time high, which means profits are at an all-time high.
to try to stay positive. At the very least, it sounds like they're offering opportunities for these employees who are laid off, to work on other games within EA's brand. We are deeply grateful to every teammate affected. Their creativity and contributions have helped build Respawn into what it is today.
I'm getting a lot of bullshit on this line.
Yep.
Offering meaningful support to those impacted.
Meaningful support. So what's the implication? We're offering little to no support to those impacted. That's what these guys don't understand. It whenever they shoehorn the words in, like pointless adjectives in front of verbs, what ends up happening is the opposite. Meaningful support. Okay, so literally, what's the opposite of meaningful? Well, support that's not meaningful, unmeaning, mismeaningful. I don't know. Pick your favorite word. Pointless support.
Including exploring new opportunities within EA. Like,
oh yeah, like I'm just gonna get fired and then yeah, can you guys hire me back? I'm just so desperate for a job, guys. Come on. I'm just so desperate. I have no self-respect. Why would I want to come back to the same company that just fired me?
Impacted. Decisions aren't easy. The language is just interesting to me. Looking ahead, our commitment to player-first experiences remains unchanged. Innovation has always been at the core of Respawn's identity, and it continues to drive how we build the future. Building better worlds with Wayland Yutani. From evolving live experiences to crafting new worlds and stories. This is just like generic jargon, corporate speak that says nothing, and it's just word salad. Yes, we're going to continue making video games that you want to purchase.
No shit, Sherlock.
For Apex Legends, that means not just delivering competitive, innovative seasons, but expand.
So what does that mean? For Apex Legends, we're just gonna deliver the same old, same old. We might change a gun up and down here or there. We might make a new map every 1 or 2 years. We might add a character every 1 or 2 years. Other than that, it's business as usual. We're not gonna change much. And I don't want to hear this other bullshit of, oh, it takes a whole year from any given department to make a new skin or character or something. Whatever that bullshit was fed out by Overwatch whenever they introduced like the mythic skins, the little ones that like evolved and it cost like $500. Like, oh, it takes a whole year to make this kind of character. No. Not buying it.
Expanding what Apex can be. Well, can you go back to the people that are like getting laid off and like the projects you canceled? Can you talk about that? I don't give a shit about Apex Legends right now. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
We're investing in what's next for the franchise, exploring bold experiences that push the boundaries of competitive play while staying true to the spirit of competition, creativity, and integrity that our community expects. This is so vague and generic that it bugs me. With the Star Wars universe, we're excited to keep building new stories. Really? New story? No way. Although, with the next chapter of the Star Wars Jedi series aiming to raise the bar again for storytelling and gameplay. Okay, that I'm hyped about. You've had 2 entries in the Star Wars Jedi series, and both have been absolute bangers, so keep up with that. All right, so this really doesn't explain any of the specifics, and it's pretty vague and kind of annoying because of that.
I mean, okay, so going with the whole clickbaity thing of Titanfall 3 is canceled, whatever. I don't think it's completely canceled. It's just gonna take about the same amount of time as GTA 6 is about to come out from GTA 5. I feel it's gonna be like that type of thing. It's gonna be a rebuilding season in terms of sports, all right? We're rebuilding the team, okay? That's the vibes I'm getting.
Dude, I love this. Trade offer. I receive Titanfall 3. You receive cancel all other games. Fair. That's fair. I'd take that deal.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. Damn good deal.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Respawn holding up Apex Legends. Yay! This is the golden goose that just poops out golden eggs all day, every day. Ugh. And all we have to do is the minimum amount of work and just poop out another reskin, recolor. And the players are so stupid enough to just keep buying it. Ugh. Jedi Fallen Order, drowning. Titanfall, drowning and dead.
Too. So what does all that mean? Because it's clear Respawn doesn't want to get into the weeds of what they're actually saying. Yes, Electronic Arts lays off hundreds, cancels Titanfall game. The video game publisher cuts between 300 and 400 jobs. I thought these were targeted team adjustments.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, man. That's what I got from the targeted team adjustments. I thought it was a rebuilding year.
Layoffs? That's completely different. Thank you, Mr. Schreier, for putting it into simple, basic English for everybody here. I, personally, have a second grade reading level, so thank you. Electronic Arts is laying off hundreds of workers and canceling a Titanfall game that was in development at Respawn Entertainment. According to a person familiar with the cuts, 300 and 400 positions were eliminated, including around 100 at Respawn. Yeah, look at this. A spokesman for Respawn said, "As part of our continued focus on our long-term strategic priorities, we've made select changes within our organization that more effectively aligns teams and allocates resources in service of driving future growth."
Oh boy, driving future growth. That's what I want to hear as a gamer. I want to hear the future growth plan from the company. Yeah. What the fuck?
Jesus Christ. Go outside and touch grass. Go hang out with the bros. Drink a beer. Can you try?
Like all these like people trying to tell gamers to go out and touch grass and stop playing games. It's like, bro, tell some of these business nerds to go outside and touch grass.
At least try to be a little bit more human. Although, maybe. He's turned into a robot. He's a robot. The canceled project, codenamed...
Bro, that movie was nightmare fuel for me with that like robot thing and all those little, what do they call the movies, like the blood spurts, the blood packets whenever they explode into clothes. Bro, when I was a little kid and I seen that, I was like, I was scared of robots, dude.
R7 was an extraction shooter set in the Titanfall universe.
What?
The canceled project, codenamed
R7. So like R5 reloaded the private server of Apex 1v1s. You're just gonna call it R7. And you know, since it's Titanfall universe, you know these guys are lazy motherfuckers and still using the source engine on that shit. So you're still gonna have crazy air strafing.
Named R7 was an extraction shooter set in the Titanfall universe.
Looks like there's been a change of plans.
According to people familiar with its development, it was not close to being released. You know, what EA really needed, what we all needed, was yet another extraction shooter.
Yeah, no, we don't. We don't need another extraction shooter. That's what Apex is already. Apex is a battle royale, and extraction shooter is essentially like the slower style running simulator, as I like to call it. You know, the same vein as Escape from Tarkov. Zoomers play battle royales. Boomers play extraction shooters. People that are delusional play tactical shooters. There it is.
This person doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Personally, I've been waiting for a sequel to The Day Before, but as time goes on, it seems like a sequel to that game is The Day That Never Comes. I guess there's a a silver lining here because it's not like they're canceling Titanfall 3, like sequel to Titanfall 2, FPS Call of Duty mechanics, but with robots and wall running that's actually awesome and works with the map, and there's minions that you shoot for points. So it's not like they looked at the borderline perfect Titanfall formula and said, well, this isn't viable, this game isn't gonna sell or whatever. I don't understand why you would want to make Titanfall into an extraction shooter. Like,
that would be horrible. That's something that nobody wants. If I want to go play an extraction shooter, I'll just go play an already established IP. Hunt Showdown or Tarkov or whatever else. If I want to run on walls and shoot people and get into robots, I'll go play Titanfall. But wait, are the servers even up? Are the servers even good? I don't think so. Servers even populated? No, I don't think so.
Isn't that what Apex Legends is? I've never played Apex Legends, if you can believe that.
It's fantastic that you didn't. You're not missing anything, brother. You're not.
I don't think there's giant robots in it, so I don't really care. But I know that it has something to do with Titanfall. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, and also tell me I'm ugly. But like, Titanfall already was an extraction shooter, right?
Yeah, it kind of was, because every what was it, attrition map or match, you had, what was it, like 5v5 or 6v6 pilots. That was like the default mode. It wasn't like yeah, you had like pilot v pilot or Titan v Titan modes and stuff like that, but the main mode that was peddled was attrition, which is what you described, with like versing some of the NPCs to accumulate points, to like build up so you could call in your Titan real quick. And you know, if you were like one of the first people to call in your Titan, you had like a huge advantage. Yeah, and so what was it? It was like a mini version, like no. If you killed a Titan, it was like 5 points, but if you killed a pilot, I think it was 3 points, and every time you killed an NPC, it was like 1 point, and it was like the first one to like 100 points or something like that, or 150, 200, I don't remember. But once one team got like all the points first, then what the game tried to do was have like a little consolation prize for the attrition match. So it's like, oh, you guys lost, but you can still get like a chunk of XP for your account if you can like get to the escape ship. And so, you know, it took like what was it, like 30 seconds for the escape ship to like come into the map. And then once the map was declared like its end game for like 30 seconds, everybody only had 1 life. So if you killed like the winners of the map, you could just be like, oh, I'm getting all those extra points for those like 5 kills from the pilots, and I'm gonna be able to escape and get like a nice little consolation prize. But it was also an opportunity for the winning team to win even harder, because you could kill all the pilots, and you not only could you kill all the pilots, you could also destroy the dropship for some extra points on your account. So it was like a mini extraction shooter, if you will. Probably like the best version, I would say, because it's a sped up version. You know, a lot of times in modern gaming, in order to captivate or withhold more of your audience, you try to give them little bite-sized versions of like big concept modes. So if you don't want to play like a 30-minute, 45-minute, hour match that is like Escape from Tarkov style, and you just want to do like a little extraction mini version of it, yeah, just jump into a match of attrition on Titanfall. Get in there, you know, the match takes what, like 10, 15 minutes, not even. And then you win or you lose, and then you're up and you're out. It was a way more convenient version of extraction than any other of this bullshit that's Tarkov or Hunt.
Hey, don't you remember at the end of rounds, if you were on the losing team, you'd have to make it to your dropship to extract for like bonus points. It was like a neat little mini game as opposed to just having the match end abruptly. I always thought that was a really fucking cool way to end multiplayer matches.
Yeah.
And then if you were on offense, you tried to chase down all the pilots and destroy them and their mechs before they could reach the dropship. Hey, remember when Helldivers 2 added that very same mechanic and everybody loved it because it was so awesome and it's such a great idea? Like, just do that again. Just do that again. You already have Apex Legends, and you tried another extraction mode with Battlefield 2042. And that game, well, we don't need to rehash.
We can. We can. Oh, it's actually not doing too bad. Actually not doing terribly horrible. It went up to 5 digits as opposed to 4 digits. Huh. This is news to me.
History, but 2042 made me sad because turned out that's just how it works out sometimes. What I don't understand is why, like from EA's perspective, you're a big publisher and you're selling people a lineup of games, not just one at a time. You're figuring out your entire lineup, right? You don't want too many things to overlap, too many games to self-compete with each other. Remember when Titanfall 2 came out and it was a masterpiece and EA was like, you know what, let's release this right in between Battlefield 1 and Infinite Warfare. And also COD 4 Remastered. Let's just do it right in the middle of 2 COD.
Yeah, that was the downfall of Titanfall, the release day.
Games. That your 2 COD games came out. Jesus. But placing it in that release window really screwed over the player base for Titanfall 2 because I think most FPS gamers at the time probably flocked to the series that was familiar to them. Battlefield and Call of Duty were a lot more familiar to people than Titanfall. But I don't get why you wouldn't just do Titanfall 3. Like, with EA's current lineup of games and offerings, why add yet another extraction shooter to the mix?
Money!
Jason continues, earlier this year, EA reduced its bookings estimate for the fiscal year following the miss of its latest soccer game, EA Sports FC 25.
Good. I hope you guys miss another one.
The company also shrunk subsidiary BioWare following the release of Dragon Age The Veilguard, which it said missed sales expectations by 50%.
We sell 50% less of what we predicted. Dang, dude, that sucks. Maybe you guys should have made a game that people wanted to play.
Anybody know why? Why that happened? Why you didn't make as much money as you thought you would or wanted? Why? Because it wasn't a good Dragon Age game. It was an action game. Just make it. It's just supposed to make it an RPG. We're not gonna get into it.
Yeah.
I feel like EA for a long time has had this like weird obsession with taking an established, popular, profitable IP and just being like, let's completely change that.
Yep.
Right? They did it with.
Which is what is that one concept of? How did it go? So you have the massive amount of people here. You know, it's like a person, a big old. It's American right there. That's another person. That's all the people. We call it Gen Pop. Gen Pop. Wow. They're doing their own thing. Ugh. They have a niche community of people right here. They like doing their own thing. They know it's not as popular, but they still like their thing. They love it. It's whatever. Pick your favorite hobby. It's over here. There's a nice little group, neat little group of people minding their own business. Oh, We're playing with our own stuff. Now, here comes Big Corbo over from Gen Pop. And they want to hijack. Is that an arrow? That's a good ass arrow. They want to come over here. Oh, Jesus. And let's give him a tie. That's a tie. He wants to come over here, take this thing, and make it so that all of the other people can enjoy it. I forgot what this whole thing was called, but that's what it seems is happening, or has happened.
Battlefield 2042, even going as far back as Dead Space 3 when they made it like a fucking co-op action game. Buddy, I like the way you're making my potatoes now.
Yeah.
Keep cooking them like this. I'm eating them. I'll buy them. And you know what? If in 2 years you want to add some spices or maybe some cilantro or green onions, yeah, I'll probably buy that shit too. Just keep making the potatoes, man. EA has been doing this identity shift thing for a long time.
Yeah, let's take this niche thing that some people like and try to make it as popular as humanly possible. Because money. Because quotas. Because investors. Fiduciary responsibility trans.
Long time. Now, I will say that's assuming that EA are the ones who are pushing these creative direction decisions onto the developers who have to accommodate EA. I think that's what's going on. I think historically that's what's been the case. But, you know, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong and tell me I'm fat. But these three games, right, 2042, Veilguard, and Titanfall 3, they all have one thing in common. They're not giving fans what they want, what they expect from each of these series. At least that's how I feel. The Titanfall recipe is pretty straightforward. You take the similar, familiar feel of Call of Duty's fast-paced gunplay, you add some futuristic movement, and throw in a bunch of giant-ass robots who can beat the living hell out of each other. Like, that's what's so great about mech games. They're like impossible to screw up. Because all you gotta do is just put me in a giant robot and let me fight other robots. And squish people? Yeah, fuck yeah. Fly a bit, throw down some fire traps. Remember how satisfying it was when you got the melee kill on a Titan and you pulled out the pilot and just like threw him on the ground or some shit? It's so simple. Just, you want to sell Titanfall? You want to sell a lot of copies of that game? Give us more robots. Am I right or am I right? Like,
but it's not that simple. It's not that simple. Because if it was, they already would have made it.
Think about this. Does anybody not like Beyblades or think like, Beyblades are kind of lame. They need to change that. Imagine at Beyblade Industries, the CEO comes out one day and he's like, yeah, guys, we're changing Beyblades. Now, instead of like this, they're trying to bounce on top of each other. It's like, no, I want to see this crash, crash, crash.
Bro, $5 says they tried to implement that in like their R&D department. 100% they probably tried to do that.
That's what I want. I'm probably rambling like an old man at this point, but honestly, it's pretty disappointing.
I'd probably venture to say the most people that were looking forward to Titanfall 3 are old men like myself.
To hear that a new Titanfall game was shelved. I mean, for as unique a concept as it was, being able to have the traditional FPS arena shooter type combat with the pilots and mix that in with mechs, like, for as awesome and unique as a concept that was, and how well they executed it with the original and the sequel, you'd think this series would print money.
You would think that, but I mean, that's just what I want. That's not what the massive amounts of people that spend money want. People that play shooting games and spend money on shooting games, they just want to spend money, dude, because like Respawn is only doing what is making them money. So what are they doing? They're probably like, what's like a soft word to say? Consolidating. They're consolidating their resources to make more gun skins, more character skins, more stickers, more emotes to directly increase profits, increase sales, whatever, increase quarterly up arrows, up dollar signs, stonk, top right directions. That's what they're doing, and that's all the metrics that they're interested in. They're not interested in the metrics of you or me that want Titanfall 3. They're not interested in those metrics because those aren't directly correlating to more money in their pocket. And the metrics that I'm talking about is like, they can just make up metrics. Okay? We know this. There's no such thing as like a downvote or negative criticism. It's called engagement now. We have tons of engagement with our new thingy. Whoa!
I could crack the code for you guys at EA. If you want to know how to sell Titanfall to people, more robots. More.
No. If Titanfall 3 were to come out like modern day, it wouldn't be what you think. It would be riddled with microtransactions, skins. They would probably sell you like kill animations like Call of Duty. They would literally just try to copy paste Call of Duty. And it would be crossplay, so you'd have to deal with aim assist versus M&K on a source engine. So you'd be dealing with bunny hopping bullshit, air strafing bullshit. And then we have to listen to competitive integrity argument, left, right, center again for the new shooting game. Apex can't even deal with the cheaters in their current game. What makes you think they could deal with cheaters in the next game? Still doing manual bans. It's a clown show.
More robots, please. Anyways, I figured this news was important to talk about. Like, I know I haven't made a video on Titanfall in a long time, but I had so much fun when I played it back in the day.
Yeah.
Just go rewatch that. I probably
Is that you? The Amish man?
sound really funny in comparison. But, you know, I felt like back in 2017 when Battlefront 2 came out, it just kind of felt like, okay, Titanfall.
Bro, you want to talk about the Star Wars Battlefront 2? Bro, there's a competitive scene in this shit still, like the hero v hero thing. It's like a 3D fighter. This scene is still popping, if you could believe. I was just as floored when I was watching a couple videos about it. It's crazy.
Battlefront, these FPS series are like here to stay. They're here to compete with Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Halo. And both of those just disappeared. I will say, it's not like all is bad.
I mean, yes, in terms of like absolute competition, yes, the games are competing with one another, but so are sports. Football is competing against baseball, competing against basketball, competing against hockey, competing against golf, competing against tennis, and blah, blah, blah for every other sport. All right. If you were to ask the president of all of these like leagues if they could like wipe out all the other sports and just have everybody like get lumped into like football, they would do it. All right. But that's not going to ever happen. Much the same way that all these video games, when you ask them the same question, if you could wipe out every other shooter to have everybody play your favorite shooter, would you? And they'd all go like, yes, because that's like record profits, not for the sake of competitive integrity. It's for the sake of entertainment. They would all say that, but that probably will never happen, even though video games industry is a little more Wild Westy than sports industry. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong.
At Respawn, like I said, the Star Wars Jedi series has had 2 phenomenal entries, and I imagine they're going to come out with a third. But you know what could also use a third game? Star Wars Battlefront. It's a shame, and I think it's kind of embarrassing to use its sort of soft corporate PR speak to hide the true meaning of what they're really announcing.
They have to know there is someone collecting all of these like Pokemon cards, like first edition apology letters to the public. I hope that guy has like a massive like collage at this point of all the blunders and apology letters. Please keep on adding to that thing, brother.
But aside from that, you know, there are plenty of other amazing games that have recently come out or are soon to drop that will serve as a nice distraction from yet another series of video game layoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna go back and play it. Keep on playing Oblivion Remastered.
But what do you think about all this news? Are you one of those people who genuinely does not like mech games? If so, please post a comment down below. I want to hear from you, and perhaps ask if you would be willing for us to execute you and use your brain for scientific study.
We need to figure out how people can have opinions that are so bad.
I'm just kidding, but put an F in the chat for Titanfall, as we are no longer standing by for one.
F.
All right, everybody. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe to the Act Man for more awesome content. All right, everyone. That's all I got for today. This is the Act Man signing out. Peace.
Dang. Well, another banger video from Acmeezy. What's the vibes? I mean, everybody loves it. I mean, you got this many people wanting to see Titanfall 3 come out. I take it. Unpopular opinion, TF3 would have been a disappointment. Most of the original developers left true. And on top of it, there's rumors that it would have been a live service extraction shooter. I love Titanfall 1 and 2, but in my opinion, TF3 would have fallen carrying the Titanfall legacy. It would have. It literally would have. If not, it will. It will not be what you think. It will not be what you want if it ever comes out. What else? Genuinely, I can't bring myself to feel sad about this. 5 years ago, I'd feel way different, but now I'm glad one of my favorite franchises will never die a hero. Oh, my franchise will die a hero and not become a villain for the modern audience. Yeah, because that's what would happen when Titanfall 3 comes out. It's going to be a modernized game. If you think that apology letter was soft, the game will be just as soft, if not softer. What was this one? It's just tiring. I haven't heard people talk shit about Titanfall 2 ever. It had a phenomenal campaign that ended on a massive tear-jerking cliffhanger. And then they hop on the Battle Royale trend and lose their identity in a heartbeat. I mean, that, like, it wasn't, like, the original developers that made it also made Apex. I mean, I forgot, like, how the story went exactly, but it's not like the original developers are, like, completely, like, not at fault. Like, they helped make Apex. Then they have the audacity to work on another Titanfall game that is not Titanfall 3. Like, bro, please, Call of Duty is dying. Now would be the best time to be working on one. Rip Respawn. True. The saddest thing about Respawn's latest forced hostage statement is that Titanfall 3 was such an easy slam dunk to be had. Fans were screaming for it for years. Yep. Gaming industry is one of the few industries where the consumer is begging to give the company money, but they just refuse to give us what we want and make needless changes for innovation and monetization purposes. It's kind of hilarious because, like, isn't, like, AI supposed to be, like, making all this bullshit easier? Like, the last Unreal Engine demo I saw, it's like, oh, look how easy it is to make a whole big-ass Grand Canyon. Woohoo! I make it in 5 minutes. Wah! Like, but that's Unreal 5. That's not Source. Titanfall 3 is coming, I swear. I say as they drag me into the padded room. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, that was one last hurrah for now. Maybe we'll get Titanfall 3 in like another 5 years or something. Maybe we'll hear something. Doubtful, but even if it does come out, it's not going to be what you think. But other than that, another banger from the man. That's pretty much it for me. I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, later.